Thank you for joining us. Welcome to LumioseStation.
Yo! Hello, LumioseStation! Here is your Wi-Fi battling conductor, PKSparkxx, back here on Monday yet again for another battle for you. Now, this team... This is full of tests. In all honesty, it is entirely full of tests. This is the first time I am using a Trevenant, and this is not your Harvest Trevenant. This one is actually Natural Cure. I decided to try Natural Cure out just to help support my team from any impending status. Not to mention, it'll help if somebody tries to Toxic Stall my Trevenant out, I can just switch out and guess what? I'm healed. So Natural Cure I decided to try for this team and in general actually, because I already see how Harvest works, but Harvest works within itself. I wanted a Trevenant that worked with the team. So that's why I'm trying Natural Cure out. This is also my first time winning a Mega Lucario. It's pretty straightforward, so there's not much to test, but nonetheless, it is my first time using it. I decided to bring out Haxorus just because he outclasses Dragonite in many ways, in speed, in attack strength, and in ability. Thanks to Haxorus having Mode Breaker, it completely nullifies Multi-Scale. As such, it can one-shot a Dragonite. In one shot with a Dragon Claw, it can one-shot it. Not to mention, Haxorus can also get taunt. So it's also good if you want to try to support your team, such as right now you can see my opponent, Boom, he has a Ferrothorn and Voldem Wash. Both Pokemon that Haxorus with taunt can pretty much wall out entirely, thanks to it resisting both Hydro Pump and Volt Switch, and it can it can negate the Will-O-Wisp that Voldem Wash can put out. So Taunt Haxorus is definitely good. Galvantula is there for support, and as before, I am running a Flash Fire Arcanine with Choice Band and is Adamant, just because I have two Pokemon that pretty much fear fire type attacks. So it was good to have him on the field. And then I had my physical Gastrodon, which doesn't really get much play. However, it does become an integral part in this battle. As you guys can see, my opponent, he is running a Talonflame, a Starmie, which is weird because the only advantage I can see over Starmie from Greninja is Thunderbolt. Otherwise, I would run Greninja any day. But whatever he wants to do, he's going to be doing what he wants to do, and I'm going to do what I want to do, and what I want to do is run myself a Greninja. He has himself a Starmie, so I guess he used that also for Rapid Spin support, which is good, seeing as how he has both a Multi-Scale Dragonite and Charizard on the field. He has Ferrothorn, which is going to do one thing in that setup, and then he has Rotom Wash, which is that Talonflame counter, which everyone seems to bring nowadays because they just fear Talonflame. Me? I have some other tactics on the field to counter Talonflame, but you guys are going to be seeing that in later weeks. Right now, let's get this battle underway. It's going to be my new tactics or his classic raw power that's going to overcome in this battle. Only one way to find out. So I lead off with my Galvantula, he loads with his Helios, and he immediately Mega Evolves into Mega Charizard X, so as you guys know, he is going to go Dragon Dance. That is the one thing that you always want to do when you have a Charizard X is Dragon Dance on that first turn. Now, I saw his team, so the first thing I wanted to do was set up Sticky Web. The only Pokemon that he could bring out to counter it would be Starmie to Rapid Spin it, and then I have Trevenant on the field, so I wanted to get Sticky Web up ASAP. He goes for the Dragon Dance, and now I'm just like, crap, I know he's faster than me. He's already on the field. I need to hope I can get paralysis this time with my Thunder, because I know I can live, because even if I didn't die, I have Focus Sash on it, so I would have lived at least one attack. I do go for Thunder. It's not very effective. It does a quarter of the damage, a quarter of his HP, but it does not get me the paralysis, and my Galvantula will go down in the second turn. Crap! I have a Tough Claws Mega Charizard X with Dragon Dance on the field. What do? I go into Gastrodon. So I'm sure that I can live one attack, hopefully. However, he fears whatever attack that might come out, and he switches out. So I go for Earthquake here, because like I said, this is my physical attacking one. And he goes into Rotom Wash, and I'm like, well, poop. I do not want to get hit by a burn. Let me go into my Arcanine, predicting the Will-O-Wisp. Because now that he saw my Gastrodon is Earth Power, is physical, he must be going to want to put the burn on it just to really weaken it, because a burn Gastrodon is a bad Gastrodon. So I go into Arcanine, I get the Flash Fire boost, and I go for Flare Blitz, thinking if he doesn't switch out, I'll do big damage. If he does switch out, I'm going to attack something. So you know, I get that damage off, do 75% of damage. He goes to Hydro Pump and misses. So I'm just like, yes, I can now 2-hit KO this Rotom Wash. Let me go for Flare Blitz again. He switches out, goes into Charizard X. Now think about it. This is Charizard X times 4 resistant. However, it still does about 30% damage after the Flash Fire boost. As such, I'm going to be able to 2-hit knock out this Charizard after it already took damage from Garvantula earlier with Thunder, and it is now 6-5 in my favor. Well, actually no, 5-5. What am I talking about? All the lost by Garvantula. Dirt. Alright, so now his Charizard X is out. He's going to bring out, it's a wrap. So, you know, you can already know who is going to be, who is a reference to. But anyway, so I'm fearing the, either Surf or Rapid Spin. Either way, Trevenant is a nice counter here because this one is careful, which means it's especially bulky. So he goes for Rapid Spin. I completely negate it. I'm going to go for... Actually, I kind of... Oh, no. Oh, right. This Trevenant is also a test. I wanted to try Phantom Force. So I used Phantom Force, which is going to be super effective. I didn't know if Phantom Force is more like Shadow Force, which is Giratina's key move, or if it was more like Focus Punch, where you disappear first and then, you attack in that same turn. So it turns out it's just like Shadow Force except weaker. So I took it out in later battles and it now carries Shadow Claw. Phantom Force is not really good just because it allows your opponent to do something like this. They knew I was going to be attacking. They go into Ferrothorn, which takes the damage really well actually. And I took Iron Barb and Rocket Helmet damage, so that was not a good move. No, do not run Phantom Force. But anyway, I go into my Arcanine to for 2 reasons: to force the switch and to come in, hoping that knowing that he's going to either set up spikes or stuff blocks. I didn't want to take unnecessary damage. So I go into my Arcanine, and I'm going to go into Flare Blitz. He brings out this Wrath and gets this Sticky Web drop. So now I know I'm going to be faster in this next turn. I do half damage, 50% damage. I'm like, yes, I can 2-hit knock out this thing. But it has leftovers. I'm no longer at the HP to where I can properly switch out and then switch back in because Stealth Rock is now on the field. So now I had to stay in. He lives with like 1 HP, so that leftovers really did help him. He's going to use Recover, and I'm just like, well, crap, there's nothing I can do here. I mean, literally, there's nothing I can do here because I can't switch out, otherwise I just have a dead Pokemon here. So I just have to keep going for hopefully either a burn or a crit so I can 2-hit knock out this thing. I'm going to go for Flare Blitz one more time, hoping I can get a crit or a burn, which is only a 10% chance. I do not get it. He lives with like, 7 HP this time. I still have 6 HP left. He's going to keep using Recover. And it pretty much becomes the same old monotonous turn for the next 3 thing for the next 3 turns. I obviously have a hard time speaking. Oh my god. But anyway, so now with the last time, I'm going for Flare Blitz, hoping one more time just for that crit, but I do not get it. I don't even get a burn. So the Starmie is going to live me out just because I couldn't switch out. And like I said, guys, I am adding a Choice Bandit. That's why I didn't go for Wild Charge. That's why I didn't go for Extreme Speed or anything else. Flare Blitz was all I had at my disposal, and I just had to go up with what I had. So his Starmie was able to star me out, and that takes him to the lead 4-5. Not in my favor. This isn't looking good for me. So right now, I'm going to go into my Trevenant. Once again, the Pokemon that I said can wall it. Now, at this point, I really didn't have much of a choice. Because like I said, Phantom, I would have got hurt either way. Either I would have died to Ice Beam, or I was going to get hit by Ferrothorn. So I just go for the Horn Leech anyway, thinking that maybe he'll stay in because he want to try and Ice Beam me, and maybe I can live one, and then I can get major HP back thanks to my Trevenant holding Big Root as well, which enables me to get more HP back. So I get like 5, so I only did like 3 HP damage to him, or I guess like 8, something like that. So you always gain back less. But anyway, after the Rocky Helmet and the Iron Barbs, it is down, and it is now 3-5 in his favor. Not good. Not good. So right now I bring out my Haxorus. Like I said earlier, Haxorus is good to set up on Pokemon that needs to set up, such as Ferrothorn and Rotom Wash. He's going to switch out here and go into his Dragonite. And I'm assuming that he doesn't know that Haxorus has Mode Breaker. So I'm going to go for Taunt. Just wave my hand, they're going to bring it on, and Dragonite's mad at me like, oh, whoa, you insulted me, I'm going to attack you now. I'm just like, man, please, I'm a Haxorus. Dragon Claw, I break the mode, ignore the multi-scale, one-shot the Dragonite because I'm naturally faster and naturally stronger than the Dragonite. So it was a wrap. So now I'm going to stay in here. I'm actually going to stay in here because I don't have a safe switch out. All I have left is Lucario, Gastrodon, and Haxorus. I decided to go for the Dragon Dance, hoping I can set up later on for a sweep, and maybe I can live an Ice Beam. Like I said, this was a test, so this is exactly why I decided to do this. So I managed to live with 21 HP. He has no Pokemon, well actually no, he has one Pokemon with priority on his team, and that will be his Talonflame. But I'm safe here to go for a Dragon Claw, and now, well, yeah, naturally, obviously, that is a dead Starmie. So it's a wrap for you, son! I don't know. But anyway, so now the Ferrothorn comes back out, and I'm going to go for Earthquake here. He's going to go for, I'm actually getting ahead of the battle just because I get tired of waiting for the animations. God darn it! Hurry up! Alright, so now, I go for Earthquake here, and I'm going to do big damage to her, about 50% damage after the Dragon Dance. Alright, maybe like 45 or something like that. But I'm pretty sure I can still 2-hit and knock out this thing. However, when I saw him set up the Leech Seed, I'm like, crap. He's going to try and switch out here. I'm going to die next turn anyway. Let's go for Dragon Claw. If nothing more, it's going to be at least damage off on a Ferrothorn, and then he won't get any more Leech Seed recovery. He decides to switch out here and tries to stall out, expecting another Earthquake. Goes into Vote and Wash. I made the proper play, and I went for Dragon Claw, so that is a dead Vote and Wash. Suddenly, it is 3-3. What is going on here? Haxorus is ready and just running rampant on the field, and he's not even using Outrage. So he brings back out the Ferrothorn. I'm going to go for Earthquake one more time. And once again, I gotta wait for the animations. I get ahead of myself. I'm gonna go for Earthquake one more time because the only Pokemon he has left is Talonflame, and I'm kind of interested why he didn't bring out Talonflame yet anyway. He's gonna go for Leech Seed, I guess predicting me to switch out, but switching out would not have been kosher for me right now. Actually no, I think it might have been 2. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's 2-4 now, and now it's. I'm stupid. Okay, so right now on the field, it is 2-2. I have my Lucario and Gastrodon left. He has his Talonflame and his Ferrothorn left. I'm going to go for Swords Dance here, thinking that he might want to switch out. Like, I really don't know what I was thinking. I really don't know why I didn't just Mega Evolve in that first turn. But he goes for Leech Seed, and I'm just like, okay, no problem. Oh yeah, also, compared to Mega Lucario, Lucario looks kind of homely. I mean, seeing as how I always see Mega Lucario, I've gotten used to that design. I like it a lot more than just regular Lucario. Regular Lucario just looks plain. I mean, just look at that design. Look at that design. His paws turn red. He gets all those lines on him. He gets another. I mean, his dreads get longer. He just looks better. But anyway, I go for Crunch here, thinking that he might try to switch out of the Talonflame here to save his Ferrothorn for my Gastrodon. Because if he had done that, then this would have been entirely different. But he didn't do that, so I was able to get the Crunch off. I took the Rocky Helmet and Iron Bar damage, but whatever. So right here, I'm like, okay, I know that Talonflame is gonna be faster than your Brave Bird. I gotta hope I can live one, and I decided to go for close combat because it's a lot stronger. But however, I'm not able to live a neutral Brave Bird from a Talonflame. However, he did not use a Swords Dance, which is good for me, because I still have my bulky Gastrodon left. Actually, no, this isn't even my physically bulky one. This is careful. This is a careful nature, so it has no defense investments, just HP. So he goes for Bravery one more time. He's like, okay, if I can live this, I win. If he knocks me out, I lose. I live with 44 HP, about 80% damage done to my Galvan for my Gastrodon, but it doesn't matter. I'm able to live, and with the Life Orb damage and the Brave Bird recoil, Waterfall is definitely going to be able to one-shot Talonflame at that HP range, so that is a good game. Boom. Now, I know that this guy, I fought him on Twitter, so I know that he has a channel. However, he hasn't responded to me yet on Twitter. As such, if you have a Twitter, handle, I'm sorry, god dang it. If you have a YouTube handle and would like it in the description below, hit me up on Twitter. Just show me that you have the Pokemon, or that you already have me in your friend code or whatever. Or yeah, tell me your friend code and I'll try to find it. And if you can prove to me that this is you, I'll link your channel in the description below. However, I want to thank you all for watching this battle. Like I said, Haxorus is a monster, and you can definitely expect to see him in more of my battles. Honestly, I like Haxorus a lot more than Dragonite. However, Dragonite was just kind of epitomous. However, seeing as how Haxorus outclasses Dragonite, and not to mention it can do support moves at the same time with Taunt, it can sit up a lot faster and do a lot more damage than Dragonite in my opinion. And like I said, I'm going to say it again because I like to reiterate this because it's just freaking powerful. Haxorus can one-shot Dragonite. It can one-shot Dragonite. So there's no downside to not using Haxorus over Dragonite, besides the fact that Dragonite has is flying type as well, so it could come in on earthquakes and etc. etc. However, I prefer Haxorus. I really do like these Pokemon that I've tried out so far. However, I don't think I'm going to be using physical Gastrodon anymore, just because from experience, it's not as useful as special attacking Scald, Ice Beam, Toxic, Recover Gastrodon. It just works so much better than physical Gastrodon. Physical was just meant to be attacking with Curse, Recover, but the fact is, if it gets hit for status, it hurts. It's not going to be able to do what it needs to do, and status is going to be a common threat to a Gastrodon. It might be a good late game sweeper, it might be a good mid game sweeper, but early on, and I guess in general, I wouldn't recommend it. But that's just my personal playthrough. If you guys have a way to use a physical Gastrodon, by all means use it. I'm just giving my opinion, and my opinion means nothing. Alright, so I want to thank you all for watching. Let me know in the comments section below what Pokemon you would like to see featured in an upcoming Wi-Fi battle. I already saw a couple. So somebody wanted a Slowking, I use a Slowking. Somebody wants an Ursaring, I'm going to try and get myself an Ursaring. So we're going to see what Pokemon that we can get to feature in the next Wi-Fi battle. So let me know in the comment section below. Leave them comments. I will be reading. I will be watching. I look forward to your inputs. And I'm going to try and bring some different Wi-Fi battles to the future. I want to try to do some multi-battles. I'm going to try and have some fun and just have a Wonderlock battle. I want to try and do some double battles. Because, I mean, I do like double battles, and I know somebody that can help me in that. So I'm going to try some double battles, bring you guys some different type of content here on LumioseStation. But that's all I have to say here. I want to thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you guys hit that like button, show your support for the series and LumioseStation entirely. Thank you guys for the amazing first month here on LumioseStation. We've already reached or nearing 30,000 subscribers here on LumioseStation, so thank you all for your support. Make sure you guys also check out the other conductors here on LumioseStation and the other stops here as well. We have the data decks, we have the Cooking with Nexus, we have Let's Plays, we have more Wi-Fi battles. On Fridays, we have community submissions where you guys can submit Wi-Fi battles and Pokemon Showdown battles to not only draw attention to your channel, but just get your battles seen by a wide audience. So it's all about you guys here on Fridays. That's all I have to say here. Stay hot, guys, and I'll see y'all next time.